What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cafecito and Kane show. Of course, we are here celebrating a victory, celebrating 2-0. I came prepared, little cafecito for you on a Sunday morning. Cheers. Delicious. So Miami cruises to a dominant 59-6 victory, covering the spread of 44.5 points. Good to see that. Didn't allow a touchdown on defense. Also good to see. Cam Ward looked unstoppable. Tyler Barron looks like a freak of nature. We're going to get into all that. But first, I want to preface everything I'm about to say with this. This is our annual FCS tune-up game. So, of course, I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get too low on anything. I'm not going to read too much into anything. This is exactly what I just said. It's a tune-up game. So the approach to this game is not going to be like any other. It's not going to be like when we play Vatech later this year. It's not going to be like when we play Georgia Tech on the road. It's going to be completely different. You're going to see them try some things. You're going to see them try some different personnel groupings. Maybe not punting it or kicking a field goal on fourth down. They might just go for it. You're going to see, weird things like that in these types of games. But that being said, let's dive into what occurred last night. So pretty much started with a bang. Got a Wesley Bassane interception on the opening possession for FAMU. That led to a two-play touchdown drive where Cam Ward threw a beautiful pass over the middle to Elijah Arroyo. Good to see him active and being used in the offense. And then in what felt like a blink of an eye, we were up 15-0. That second drive, I didn't like the Ray Joseph fielding the punt inside the 5-yard line. We'll get into that stuff later. But that led to a 99-yard, 7-play scoring drive for the offense. We were up 15-0. Then a little busted coverage by our defense, a little missed tackle by Jaden Harris on a blitz that led to a big pass play for Daniel Richardson, which, by the way, if you look up Daniel Richardson's history as the quarterback for FAMU, he is one of the most prolific passers in Miami-Dade County history when he played for Carroll City. Had almost 10,000 yards passing in high school, so the dude was going to get one. I'm not shocked that he did. It was an amazing diving catch by that receiver. But aside from that, it was pretty much all Miami. So we hold them to a field goal. Again, it was great to keep them out of the end zone. I did not want to see that FAMU touchdown chain. And then there was a bit of a lull there in the second quarter. Once we had the game in hand, once it was 22-3, I want to say, bit of a lull. We start to get a little cute with the bubble screens and everything. The play calling was very vanilla, which that part I'm fine with. I mean, you don't want to show anything in a game like this. But, we started to stall out a little bit. I know they had a punt from like inside their 1-yard line that they shanked. We didn't get any points out of it, but in a game where we're playing like an actual opponent, they're going to be kicking the field goal and at least taking the points there. So we end up, also some lazy routes that I saw, a little bit of lazy blocking on the perimeter. Didn't like that. We got a little sloppy at the end of the first half. Going to the half, Mario was not happy. But then I was relieved to see how we came out at the start of the third quarter. We basically started the third quarter the same way we started the game. We just decided to stop playing with our food and just, assert our dominance, put our foot on the gas and just go. And whenever we decided to do that, I mean, they couldn't stop us. So we marched right down the field, scored. I think we made it like 32-6 at that point. And it was pretty much all Hurricanes from then on out. Ended up cruising to a dominant win. A couple things I look for in these games, and we hit both of those marks, is score between 50 and 60 points and also come out of it healthy. Those are the two things I want to see, and I saw both of them. So overall, pretty pleased with that. If I had to grade the team, offense, defense, special teams, I'd give it like a B. Again, a little sloppiness that we're going to get into now that I didn't like, but they did rally. They did kind of like decide, okay, let's clean it up, let's lock in, and let's go. And that's what they did. But as far as the things I want to nitpick at, the late hits, very bad, boneheaded penalties by both Ahmad Moten and Joshua Horton. Two very talented D tackles that I can't wait to see how they look this year. Moten's already looking great so far. The one by Horton was a late hit on the quarterback that extended a drive, led to a field goal. Those points should have never happened. And then, of course, Ahmad Moten a little later in the game. Game was a little more of a blowout. It was a little more in hand. He saw one of his boys getting roughed up, and he's like, oh, I got to go defend my guy. I don't totally blame him for that, but there's ways to do it. You don't have to knock the dude on his butt and draw a penalty way after the whistle. And also, you don't want to make a habit of those sorts of things. So definitely something to look out for. But again, as I said before, you look at, and again, no disrespect to FAMU. They came in and they played hard. It is what it is, though. I think Ahmad at that point knew, all right, this penalty is probably not going to have any repercussions, any big repercussions. Let me go defend my guy and send a message to them. That's what it felt like to me. Still, Mario knows, the coaches know, you don't want to make a habit of that sort of thing. So definitely the late hits, you got to clean that up. I don't want to see that ever again for the rest of the season. I don't remember any like bad pre-snap stuff. I know we had I want to say we had 8 penalties total for like 58 yards, but I don't remember a lot of pre-snap penalties. I remember the one on defense where we did that thing where we did illegal hand signals or something to draw them off sides, something like that. Aside from that, no delay of games. I don't remember any false starts off the top of my head. Just a couple of, holdings, late hits. Holdings, I don't mind so much. That's in the heat of battle. So I don't, that's not too bad. Like I mentioned before, the lazy blocking on the perimeter, didn't like that. Guys were getting underneath our blockers and hitting those bubble screens behind the line of scrimmage. You definitely have to clean that up technique wise. There was the one busted coverage, and just overall a little sloppiness, a little laziness in that second quarter, if I had to nitpick at something. But aside from that, it was a pretty dominant performance. Players that I'd like to highlight, like I mentioned before, Tyler Barron, 3 sacks for him. He looked absolutely unstoppable. I cannot wait to see. He's doing this. Keep in mind, he's doing this without Ruben Bain on the other side. Imagine when both of them are healthy. I can't wait for that. I mean, both. What do? Who do you double team? You can't double team both guys because then nobody's going out for passes. So that's what elite edge rushers can do. That's how they can affect the game. And we have 2 of them right now. One of them's out for a few games. Hopefully he's back maybe for the USF game. I hope so. USF looked really good against Alabama yesterday. So hopefully we get Bain back for then, if not for ACC play. But having those 2 guys on the field at the same time is going to be a massive weapon for us. Damian Martinez, 91 yards. Good showing by him. I think he only had like 11 carries. So good production for him yesterday. X just keeps getting better and better. I mean, it's amazing. He just keeps raising his ceiling higher and higher. And Markel Bell got a start yesterday at left tackle. If the opponent was somebody other than FAMU, if it was a D1 opponent, an ACC opponent, I'm not sure Markel Bell's getting that start. Jalen Rivers supposedly was dealing with something minor, so they gave him the night off. If it was a more serious game, Rivers is either playing or maybe they reshuffle the line around. I'm thinking maybe they put McCoy or Pancake out there, someone with a little more experience. But if you're going to get Markel Bell in there to get some reps, get some valuable experience, this would be the game to do it. And he did a fine job. He made some freshman mistakes, but overall wasn't too bad. His size is just what's so impressive to me. I mean, 6'8", 6'9", that huge wingspan. Just on size alone, his ceiling is huge, but he's still a good year away from being ready to actually possibly compete for a starting job. He's still a year away. He's still very raw. CJ and Lyle getting their first touchdowns of the season. CJ with a nice kick return, showing off his wheels. That's another guy I can't wait to see as the season progresses, returning more kicks for us. That's another weapon we have back there. And Jordan Lyle, I mean, he is going to be a problem for the next couple of years. And how about Cam Pruitt? It's mentioning the young guys. How about Cam Pruitt? Came in, gets an interception. I think like in his first possession, he was in the game. And then on the next possession or 2 possessions later, he has a fantastic pass breakup. Great effort, lays out, knocks the ball away. I'm very impressed. as I continue to be impressed over these last couple of years with the scouting and hitting on these freshmen that come in and they can contribute right away. It's very impressive. The coaching staff's done a great job with that. And I just love that in general. The young guys got to get in there. Mainly, a lot of them were in there in the third quarter, pretty much with 5 or 6 minutes to go in the third. They just unloaded the bench. Like, here you go. Freshmen, backups, walk-ons, go right on in. Poffenbarger also came in. He got some time. Looked pretty good running the ball, by the way. Poff did. So a lot of positives to take away from this. A few negatives that I think are easy to clean up. I'm not too concerned. And some key stats here. So overall, we had 549 yards of offense, 324 through the air, 225 on the ground. We averaged 5.9 yards a carry. That's net yardage. That's including all the sack yardage and the losses and everything. 5.9 yards a carry. 7.7 yards of play on offense overall. Didn't have to punt once. Love to see that. And we had 5 sacks on defense. By the way, one of the 5 sacks was freshman Justin Scott getting in there and getting some action. So great for him. And on defense, we held FAMU to 52 rushing yards. And Daniel Richardson, as I mentioned before, was a prolific passer in high school. Talented dude. He can really sling that ball. And he had 137 yards, 1 INT, no touchdowns, and again, a good chunk of that 137 was on one play. So there you have it. Miami cruises to a dominant victory. We got Ball State next week. And I just hope this team just stays healthy, stays focused. Hope they start out fast against Ball State, just like they did against FAMU. And no, there shouldn't be any issues. There shouldn't be any reason for concern. But the schedule will get a little tougher as we go after that Ball State game. But anyways, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this recap. I'll be back on this Tuesday. I will have a guest. So until then, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the Dolphins game or whatever NFL team you follow today. As always, go Canes.